Hey, this is MJ, and today we're going to be working on a crisscross stitch. So I'm using Sugarbush Yarn's Chill. This is a super bulky weight 6 yarn, and I'm using a 9mm crochet hook. So this stitch pattern is going to be worked in an even number of stitches. I've already made my foundation chain and a row of single crochet. So I have 10 stitches here. Now let's begin the pattern. So we'll turn and chain 3. So our chain 3 for this stitch pattern will count as a double crochet. So when we count our chain 3 as a double crochet stitch, it is this stitch here. So when we work, we don't work into this stitch because this is included. If we weren't including our chain, we would work into that first stitch right there. But we are including this as a chain for this stitch pattern, so we won't work into that stitch. Now the pattern states to skip the next stitch, which is this stitch, and then we work 1 double crochet into the next. Now we'll work 1 double crochet back into the skip stitch. So yarn over, go through that skip stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our crisscross. So again, we're gonna skip this stitch and we'll work into the next stitch, a double crochet. Up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we'll do a double crochet back into that skip stitch. So now we've made 2 crossover stitches. We'll skip the next. Work back into the skip stitch. And as you can see, we have 3 stitches remaining. Go back into the skipped. And then we'll work 1 double crochet in that last stitch. Okay, so now if you look at what we've made, we have a 1 double crochet bordering here and a 1 double crochet bordering here. And we have 4 crossover stitches. So now let's turn our work and we'll chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now remember our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we don't work into the stitch because that stitch is for our chain 3. And the next stitch, we work 1 double crochet. So when I'm doing this pattern, if we were stacking our crossover stitches, we would work the same as this row. We would skip this stitch, work 1, and work 1 back in. But I'm wanting to alternate my crisscross stitches. So we do 1 double crochet, so then this row will be bordered with 2 double crochet. So we skip the next and we do a double crochet in the next stitch. And now we work back into the skip stitch. Skip the next stitch, work 1 double crochet in the next. So as you do your crisscross stitches, you can see that I'm working them above the holes. So there's the 2 stitches, so we're working them. And if you were wanting to stack them, it would look, you would just be working into the stitches above. So you can kind of see if you're doing it correctly just by where you're placing your stitches. So skip, you're always skipping and then just working back. And see, we've come to our last stitch here and we put a double crochet because we're wanting to border it again with the 2, and then we do a double crochet into the turning chain. And then we can turn. So now for this row, you can see we've bordered it with 2 double crochets, including our chain 3, and then there's 3 crossover stitches. And now we're going to go back to repeating that first row. So we don't work into this stitch because it's the chain 3, and then we skip this stitch, working into the next, and as you can see, we're going to work over the hole again. And if I'm going too quickly on the double crochets, you can go watch my beginner video on how to do the double crochet stitch. And I'll add the link in the description box for that video. Okay, so we're skipping, working into the next. And this is how you do the crisscross stitch. And if you want to change it up and stack those stitches, it's very simple to do that. Just repeat that first row. But if you want to alternate them like I'm doing, we're going to border each row with 2 double crochets. And then our final double crochet is always going into that turning chain. Okay, so this is the look you're getting now with the stack look. And I'm just going to maybe do another row to finish off my swatch. Okay, so this is how our alternating crisscross stitch rows look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to stay updated on new videos and tutorials.